had the great honor of sitting down with Maya and Dvir Rosenfeld, and they described to me how they spent 30 hours in their safe room living in Kfar Aza on October 7th. Dvir actually lived there for, 30 plus years. He said 40 plus years. He lived in Kfar Aza, and never in his wildest imaginations did he think something like this would happen. He's lived through escalations, their neighbors with the people of Gaza. So time and time again throughout history, there have been rockets that have been, shot in. Maybe even sometimes more escalations than that. But I think the moment that it became real for them was that when they're in their safe room and they start hearing the Arabic voices outside, they're hearing gunshots. They're on their WhatsApp phone. This is stuff like during World War II, during World War I. The communications were not what they are today. So these people are on a WhatsApp group of their kibbutz, and they're just getting message after message of, we're being burnt alive. Someone's shooting us. My husband is shot outside. And the messages they're getting about those people are literally 10 feet, 20 feet away from where they are right now. And they admitted, they said it themselves, like, it was really hard to process. They thought people were exaggerating, what's going on, this has never happened before. Until it started becoming more real. When Dvir was unable to get through to his sister, Hadar, and her husband, Itay, and they had twins. Then it started coming out slowly, the reports of those twins are crying. Hamas used those twins as bait. They let them cry for hours. 14 hours they let those twins cry. And tens of people tried to come and rescue those twins, and they were killed by Hamas. That's what Hamas did. They used these twins as bait. Why didn't they kill those twins? I don't know, honestly. I'm sure in some way it's part of their sick plan. But Hadar and Itay were killed. Hadar was killed when she went to go make a bottle for one of her kids who was in the safe room. And she was, shot through her window from a terrorist. And Maya and Dvir are going around the world telling their story of what they endured. They themselves had a 2-year-old, Ziv, who's less than 2 years old, in the safe room with them for 30 hours. Maybe you're watching this. Maybe you have a 2-year-old. Maybe you have a 1.5-year-old. 30 hours in one room. You're limited. Food, diapers, toys. You don't have a ton. No air conditioning. At some point, the electricity went out. This family endured the craziest of circumstances that day. And they were saved. There were miracles that took place. I'll tell you one thing that they mentioned in this episode, which was astonishing, was Dvir, the husband, was outside waiting for the dogs to come in as the sirens are going off. The dogs went outside, and he, not knowing yet what was going on, was just standing outside in the garden, waiting for the dogs to come inside. And then as the sirens started getting more and more and hearing the rockets, he decided, you know what, I can't just wait out here. He went inside, but he left the door to his house open. He left the door open so the dogs can come in. And the door remained open. And he went to the safe room because they heard the gunshots, they heard the grenades, they heard the RPGs. And the front door of their house remained open the entire time. And the houses next to them were burned. The houses next to them were looted. The terrorists went inside and killed everybody, but not their house. What's the explanation? I don't know. God was definitely watching over them that day. I guess you could say that Hamas may have thought that, the door is wide open. Nobody's leaving their door wide open on a day like this. They know we're here. So someone must have taken care of this house already. We're not going to go inside. And Maya and Dvir and Ziv, they stayed in that safe room for over 30 hours. They waited for the IDF to come and rescue them and bring them to another safe area. And for the twins, there's a famous picture of an IDF soldier taking the twins out and feeding them a bottle. They haven't been fed in over 15, 16 hours. They were sitting there crying, twins sitting there crying as bait. And their parents were killed. Murdered by these terrible, can't even call them people, these terrorists. So if anybody wants to bear witness to what took place that day, you should watch what this couple had to say, of what they endured on October 7th.